Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. I am yours truly, Pat Dooley, and this is Pro Wrestling Simulated's The 500. Now, normally there we go. We would be having our first wrestler making their entrance, but for some reason I had the timing wrong tonight. So I'll get into what the 500 is shortly. But out first, we've got Weber Hatfield, the number 423 seed in our 500-person tournament. He upset Tracy Williams in episode 13, and then Jody himself in episode 33, which was the 7th shortest match of the tournament and the lowest rated, according to Fire Pro Wrestling. His opponent is the number 218 seed, Wardlow, Mr. Mayhem, the AEW TNT champion, who defeated Max Caster in episode 13, I believe. I don't have that number right in front of me. And then upset Jay White in episode 33. So, what is the 500, you may be asking, if this is your first time watching, or if it's your 42nd time watching and you're still a little confused. What we did, hold on, Wardlow going for a pin 17 seconds in, didn't even get a 1 count. The 500 is, we took the 2021 PWI 500, which is Pro Wrestling Illustrated's list of the 500 best wrestlers in the world, and we took those rankings, turned them into seedings in a single elimination tournament, and for the last a little over a year now, we have been doing 10 to 12 matches a week to narrow down the field. We are at, I believe, 68 wrestlers remaining in the tournament. We have 3 more nights like tonight where we will have 12 matches, of which 4 people will be advancing. Basically, the winner of our first 8 matches will then face off in our last 4. The 4 winners will advance to the round of 32 to join the 20 that have already advanced. So I've already run through what Boomer Hatfield and Wardlow have done earlier in the tournament. Wardlow, of course, the AEW TNT champion. It's representing All Elite Wrestling, which has gone 69 and 59 in our tournament, which is the best winning percentage among all promotions with at least 40 matches. Also, the 69 wins, 59 losses, and 128 matches are almost among all promotions. And Wardlow is one of 13 AEW wrestlers still in the tournament, which also the most among all promotions. Weber Hatfield, of course, was actually listed in the 500 as Boomer Hatfield, which was his gimmick at the time. He has since unmasked and is going by Weber Hatfield. He is a graduate of the Wrestle Factory, which was the training facility at Chikara, which was run by Chuck Taylor, Fire Ant, Hallowicked, Icarus, Mike Quackenbush, and Ophidian. He was also trained a bit by Cheeseburger. And of course, for those of you Chikara fans, you probably know when I say Fire Ant, I mean Orange Cassidy. So Hatfield taking to the sky. He is a high flyer if you've never seen him work. Wardlow, not so much. He's a powerhouse. They do call him Mr. Mayhem for a reason. He will be looking for his either a Splash Mountain or his Powerbomb Symphony finishes here. Whereas Weber Hatfield will be looking for his Boomerang finish. I did mention, I've been keeping statistics on all of the matches we've had up to this point, and there have been 432 of them through 41 episodes of the show. We do have the game Fire Pro Wrestling World is the game that I'm using to simulate all of these matches, and the game rates every match at the end. And Weber Hatfield's second round match against Jody himself was the lowest rated match of the tournament thus far at 65%. Now, to put that into perspective, 65%, obviously, it's fine. That's a D in school. It's not passing, but it's better than half. I should point out that in contrast to that 65%, there have been 60 matches that have earned a full 100%. Also, that match with Jody himself being the 7th shortest at 7 minutes, 55 seconds is in contrast to the longest match of the tournament, which was Nick Gage and Brett Eisen from back in episode 5, which went 48 minutes and 35 seconds. Now, of course, time in all things is relative, but especially in Fire Pro, because as you can see, those seconds are ticking by faster than they are in real life. Don't worry, your life is not slipping away that fast. It is basically, it's almost 2-1. So they've really been going at it a little over 4 minutes, but the game will call it 8 minutes. So that Gage Ison match that said it went 48.5 minutes was really probably a little shy of 25. Haven't gone with a stopwatch to see exactly what the difference is in time, but it works out to about half. So Hatfield taken to the sky here, as you know, he was bound to do in there against the powerhouse Wardlow, and Wardlow is just going to knock him down with that big running clothesline. Oh, Okite Yobari, that is that means it's basically, I don't know the exact translation, but in the game it means finisher theft, which is Hatfield hitting an F5 on Wardlow, almost getting the 3 count. The referee is Marty Asami from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We do have it set up so that if a wrestler's from a major promotion, the referee will not also be from that same promotion unless the match is 2 wrestlers from the same promotion. So, for example, if there were 2 New Japan wrestlers, Asami would still be eligible to referee it. If only one was, they would not, which is why you're not seeing, Aubrey Edwards or Bryce Remsburg or Rick Knox or any of the other AEW referees officiating this match. Wardlow just taking Hatfield's head off with that clothesline and then a big right hand to the face. Wardlow with a big hip toss. That is a big hip toss. Wardlow 6'3", 267 pounds, fellow Midwestern boy, fellow Ohioan. I consider myself a Michigander above all because I lived there most of my life. But actually, I guess at this point, now that I'm 40, yeah, it's still half my life, but that's shrinking by the day. But I was born in Ohio, same as Wardlow was. Wardlow in control here. A big headbutt from Hatfield, which doesn't seem like a great idea, but he is still standing, although he is woozy. Definitely not able to capitalize on that. Now a series of punches to the midsection from Wardlow, doubling Hatfield over, clearly trying to set him up for more offense that targets the middle of the body, like that TKO that we saw Hatfield steal earlier, or possibly the Powerbomb Symphony or Splash Mountain. Speaking of Powerbombs, Hatfield with one of his own, 1-2.9. Wow, that was way closer than I thought it was going to be. Also, and there is that variation on the F5 by Wardlow, 2-3. That is enough for Wardlow, showing Hatfield how it's done. Wardlow has advanced to our post-intermission 4 matches that will wrap up the show later on tonight. But we go ahead and update the bracket here. Number 218. Wardlow, that was the Splash Mountain Bomb, according to the game. I guess that's what we can call it as well. Number 218 over number 423. So Hatfield, the 7th lowest seed in the tournament, no longer the number 423 seeds. Cinderella story has come to an end. 93% evaluation, definitely an improvement for Hatfield. 13 minutes, 34 seconds. Wardlow advances. He will face the winner between MJF and Masato Tanaka, which is coming up later. So that's a very intriguing 4th round match between MJF and Wardlow, should MJF manage to survive Masato Tanaka, which, if you've ever seen a Masato Tanaka match, not guaranteed. Excuse me. I'm on these new supplements, and I have to drink a ton of water with them, or else I get a little woozy later in the day, which is not a great feeling. But it means I have to drink a ton of water, and sometimes it comes out like that. I am trying to get myself in better shape, hence the supplements. Because I've plugged this on the channel a few times, but again, if you're new or if you just haven't watched any of the episodes where I've talked about it, the wrestling school that I am attending to learn to be a broadcaster as well as a member of the creative team, we've started doing a weekly reality show on YouTube. It's called The Academy. So if you just search for FXE Wrestling on YouTube, you'll find the channel. And once you're there, just like 3 of the top 4 videos on the channel are the last 3 weeks worth of the Academy. New episodes come out every Sunday at noon Central Time, so 7.5 hours before we go live right here. So since I'm starting to appear on camera every week, in addition to this Twitch stream, which, you can only see shoulders and up, so I could look like anything down here. Yeah, I'm not gonna follow up on that. But basically, I'm trying to get myself in better shape, hence the supplements, and hence the excess gas that hopefully works itself out before I start calling live matches. But anyway, back to ringside. Also, I have noticed I have no audio. I know I'm getting audio from the computer because I tested my headphones before the match started, or before the show started, but I'm not getting any audio from the game. So here in a little bit, I'm going to put on some background music. First out, though, Satoshi Kojima. Actually, hold on a second. We are going to quit this match because I forgot to change the referee. You can see a little bit of how the sausage gets made. It is going to be Satoshi Kojima against Delmi Exo. Brian Zane is the referee. So we'll, I would say we'll cut that out in post, but we won't. In the immortal words of Mean Gene Okerlund, we're live, pal. So here comes Satoshi Kojima. Satoshi Kojima, however you want to pronounce it. He is one half of the GHC Tag Team Champions in Pro Wrestling Noah. He has advanced to this point. He's the number 327 seed, having upset Ortiz in episode 13. And then Sonata in episode 31. That match with Sonata was one of those 100% quality matches. It was the 47th such match. Delmi Exo, on the other hand, one half of the Shimmer Tag Team Champions, is one of only 4 women remaining in the tournament. She upset Kenta back in episode 22, and then Shun Skywalker in episode 32. Exo representing Major League Wrestling, which has gone a terrible 10-15 in this tournament, which is the worst among promotions with at least 20 matches, and has only 2 wrestlers remaining, Exo being one of them. She's also one of only a handful of my edits remaining in the game. I did get to a point where I could no longer find pre-edited versions of the wrestlers on the Community Creations pages, so I had to make my own. Which is why Exo is not of as high quality as the others. Kojima's in the game. The game does have the New Japan license, so he is in the game already. So this is an in-game model of Kojima against my terrible Delmi Exo, and I do apologize, Delmi. Kojima, representing, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling, 43-48, which is the worst among promotions with at least 30 matches. And Kojima is one of 8 New Japan wrestlers remaining, which is the second most among all promotions behind only AEW, as we mentioned earlier. So Kojima's got a pretty sizable size advantage here. Sizable size advantage. Say that 5 times fast. He's got about 5 inches of height, so about 5 inches of reach, about 24 years of experience, and about 84 pounds of size. He's fighting out of Koto, Tokyo, and Delmi Exo from Providence, Rhode Island. She teams with her sister Ashley Vox as Team Sea Stars, hence the Shimmer Tag Team titles. And they are, I kind of expected them to be sort of cornerstones of MLW's new featherweight division, but unless I missed something, I don't think I've seen them on MLW TV yet. Granted, they are on their between season break, should be returning soon. I know they've already taped at least one show for that new season that's coming soon. So possibly Team Sea Stars gets more airtime next year. I hope so, because Delmi and Ashley Vox, very, very talented. Kojima definitely not wanting for airtime. The 52-year-old, a 31-year veteran, has he's done it all in wrestling. He's sorry, I'm pulling up his list of titles he's won, and it's an impressive one. He's a 2-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, a 7-time IWGP Tag Team Champion. He's held the Never Openweight 6-man tag titles twice, and that's all just in New Japan. Meanwhile, in America, he's a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. Oh, hold on. Hurricane Rana by EXO only gets one. In All Japan Pro Wrestling, he's a 2-time Triple Crown champion, 3-time All Japan World Tag Team Champion. He's also the All Asia Tag Team Champion 1 time. He's also held the GHC Heavyweight Championship again, that's Pro Wrestling Noah. He's also currently, alongside Takashi Sugiura, one half of the current GHC Tag Team Champions. And also, speaking of MLW, he held the MLW World Heavyweight Championship for 267 days back in 2002, 2003, back in the kind of early days of MLW. So very accomplished wrestler, the 52-year-old in there with the higher-seeded Delmi EXO, who's only been at it for about 7 years. The Galaxy Delmi God. Oh, my God. Spine buster powerbomb from Kojima to... She manages to kick out. The Natalie-attired referee there is Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret, formerly Ring of Honor, possibly returning to Ring of Honor, hopefully. Hook of the leg from Kojima. 1, 2... EXO manages to kick out. EXO, like I said, giving up a lot of experience here. She is, as I mentioned, she has been one half of the Shimmer Tag Team Champions with her sister, Ashley Fox. They've held those titles since 2019. They are also former champions in BCP and the Sabotage Tag Team Champions as well. As a singles wrestler, she's the former NWE Women's Champion, and in Women's Superstars United, she also is one half of their tag team champions, but not with Ashley Fox, with Casey Cattell, who is now Casey Kirk after marrying Brandon Kirk, which is cool, good for them. So this is the 314 seed against the 327 seed. Whoever advances from this match is just pulling off upsets left and right here. Go behind by EXO, sending him off the ropes, and a big chop meets Kojima about 3/4 of the way across the ring, then a punt kick to the spine, and another. Both back to their feet. Small package. I don't know what Kojima was going for. 2. EXO was able to reverse it into a nice pinning combination, but only got 2. Kojima sends her into the corner. Charges in with a leaping forearm to the face. Now scoop and a slam sends her to the floor. And Kojima's going to take that opportunity to catch his breath as we close in on the 12-minute mark of this one. Our second of 12 matches tonight. Kojima and EXO following Wardlow making relatively short work of Weber Hatfield in our opener. The winner of this match will be facing the winner between Will Ospreay and Ricky Starks, which is coming up later on tonight. That is a match that should be a barn burn. Cross-body tope from Kojima onto the floor. The 52-year-old showing he's still got a spring in his step. But a series of forearms from EXO rocks him a little bit on the floor. They're both back in the ring. You notice the referee counting. We do use the Japanese 20 count on the floor as opposed to the more standard American 10. I think Ring of Honor uses the 20 count as well for the pure division. Fire Pro defaults to to the 20 count. We use the 20 count as well. We also have yet to have a disqualification in any of our matches. Oh, nice jackknife pin there from EXO. 1, 2.9 as we pass the 14-minute mark now. A sidewalk slam from Kojima. Go behind. Nope. Into a victory roll. 1, 2. 2 count only, says referee Brian Zane. And EXO sent right back out to the floor by Kojima. And again, that slingshot crossbody onto the floor. And a side slam right out in front of our announcers. And I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure I'm using the right arena for this show, but you know what? It's my show. I'll use whatever arena I darn well please. The ring is right, the wrestlers are right, the referee is right. I can't be expected to keep track of every detail. Yes, I can. Big suplex. Actually, you know what? I think this is the right one, and I've been using the wrong one. I don't know. I had all this mapped out. Elbow to the face from Kojima, and then a series of forearms to the face. Clearly, he's going for the knockout blows here on Exo. Go behind. Big release German suplex, dropping her on the back of her head. Now scooping a slam. Heading up top. And a big diving elbow from Kojima. Hooks the leg. 1, 2. Oh, no. Exo kicks out at 2. We close in on 70. Oh, Koji cutter. And he's not going for the pin after it. He instead opts to drop another elbow on her. Dragging her out to the center of the ring, putting her on the logo, hooks the leg and the neck. Veteran pin. 2, 3. No, 2.9. Exo gets a shoulder up. Boot to the midsection. Exo with the go behind and a forearm to the back of the head. Kojima fires back with an elbow of his own. Man, they are really swinging for the fences on those shots to the head. Exo sent off the ropes into a massive spine buster. 1, 2, 3. That did it. Satoshi Kojima moves on. The number 327 seed, pulling off based on seeds, the upset over Delmi Exo. But Satoshi Kojima, one of the all-time greats. Exo, still young, still proving herself in this business. She'll be back. That was a great showing from the youngster. 18 minutes, 24 seconds, 87% evaluation from the game. Spine bomb is what they're calling that finish from Kojima. So we now know Kojima may have a showdown with fellow New Japan star Will Ospreay, or he may take on Ricky Starks. We'll find out later on tonight when those two go head to head for the right to face Kojima-san. So big win there for Kojima as he advances to the next round. Stand by, making sure I've got the right. Yep. Okay. So we will continue to see New Japan well represented in tonight's show, as our next match will feature Robbie Eagles, the Sniper of the Skies, taking on one of my favorite not super mainstream Japanese wrestlers. I'm a huge fan of El Lindemann, representing Glate, which is a hybrid promotion that just started, I believe, a year ago. It's a hybrid promotion that does just standard pro wrestling as well as UWFI style, which is more booked like shoot fights, but they're worked. But here comes Robbie Eagles, the Sniper of the Skies, representing the Chaos faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is now the 8th lowest seed remaining in the tournament after the earlier elimination of Weber Hatfield. He upset Joey Janela in episode 14, and then Otis in episode 33. That match with Janela was 100% quality. And here comes El Lindemann, a member of the Strong Hearts group in Glate. He defeated Matt Makowski back in episode 14, and then upset the Great Muta in episode 33. Glate has gone 3-2, which is the 6th best record among all promotions with at least 5 matches. There are 17 such promotions. But Lindemann is the last of the Glate wrestlers remaining. Here we go. Eagles and Lindemann. Eagles not used to being the bigger man, but he does have 7 inches and 22 pounds on Lindemann. Lindemann from Nakano, Tokyo, and Robbie Eagles from Jonestown, New South Wales in Australia. One of the more prominent Australian wrestlers remaining in the tournament, or in the tournament period, even though he's the 407th seed. We have seen, we've talked about it a few times on the show, kind of the rise of Australian wrestling. And I've kind of, I've hinted at the fact that, once I graduate from the FXE Wrestling Academy and, find a job out there as a wrestling commentator, I wouldn't be mad if I wound up finding something in Australia or New Zealand. That's a, beautiful part of the world. And, I already speak the language, and it's not here. So, if it comes to that, if this whole, global NXT thing Triple H is talking about, if they're doing a, NXT Oceania and they need an announcer, holla at your boy, Paul. So Eagles sends Lindemann into the corner. He was going to charge in, but he saw Lindemann moving, so he slammed on the brakes there. Side headlock. The referee, I believe that is Barb Sasaki. It is Barb Sasaki from Stardom, the top Joshi promotion in the world. We will see some of the Stardom stars eventually when the 500 concludes, and we do our tentatively going to call the 150 when we do a similar tournament using PWI's top women's wrestler list. Crystal Miexo, there were a handful of women in the 500. PWI differentiates between them. They actually put out a really great tweet about this a few weeks ago when this year's 500 came out, where they explain the qualifying process for each of their three lists, because they also do top 100 tag teams, which will also be a tournament we will do eventually on this channel once we crown the first simulated world champion, which we are getting closer and closer to by the week. There will be 5 more episodes after this one. On episode 47, we will crown our first champion. The next, including this week, 42, 43, 44, will follow this format where we have 8 third-round matches followed by 4 fourth-round matches. One count only on Eagles' pin there. We will have 8 third-round matches followed by 4 fourth-round matches, the 4 winners of which will all advance to the 5th round. The 5th and 6th rounds will take place similarly on episodes 45 and 46, where there will be 8 5th-round matches followed by 4 6th-round matches. So there will be 2 episodes like that, 45 and 46. The 8 wrestlers that survive that will then advance to the quarterfinals. And the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals will all take place on episode 47. Big top rope splash there from Lindemann, only got a 2 as we pass the 7-minute mark. Big Frankensteiner from Eagles sends Lindemann to the floor. Sniper of the Skies elects not to follow him out, instead opting to conserve some energy here early on. Probably wise, because knowing these two, this one could go for a while. Lindemann sent into the corner, running knee from Eagles, and a small package, but it was a schoolboy roll up, but he's right in the corner. Lindemann, a shoulder-mounted Falcon Arrow, but Eagles all up in the ropes. These guys need to get out of that corner if they want to try for pinfalls, because, of course, the referee not going to count if any part of either of their bodies is under the ropes or on the ropes. Did mention earlier, disqualifications entirely up to referee discretion. I have seen it happen in Fire Pro, but it has never happened in the 500, including that 48-minute and 30. Stomping away on the thigh of Lindemann, working the legs, trying to ground the high flyer. Super kick from Eagles. Spinning toe hold. That Gage Ison match I was talking about earlier that went 48 and a half minutes was bloody. There were light tubes, there were chairs, there were tables, anything you could think. There was a fork at one point. I think Gage pulled out a sickle. It was brutal. There's another shoulder-mounted Falcon Arrow, 2.9. Eagles kicks out, proving once again that Eagles are better than Falcons. Another schoolboy, but they wind up in the ropes. Series of forearms to the face. A Northern Lights suplex from Lindemann. 1, 2.9. Northern Lights suplex in this part of the country, this time of year, in this part of the ring. May I see it? Eagles in control here. Oh, nope. He's going right back up onto the shoulders. Determined to put him away with that finish. But Sasaki, again, guys, get out of the ropes. I'm not going to count while you're in the ropes. Lindemann with a nice standing drop kick. Lindemann, actually, it feels like he's been around forever. He's only an 8-year pro. He's only 27 years old. Eagles, by contrast, a seasoned veteran at 32. But he is actually a 14-year pro, trained by Madison and Ryan Eagles. So we will see if his 5 extra years of life and 6 extra years as a wrestler pays off for him. Lindemann was a judo star before transitioning to wrestling. Hold on. Okite Ubere. He just hit him with that pulse drop. That's one of Eagles' finishes. But he doesn't capitalize with a pin, instead opting for rolling Germans here. Eagles eat defeat. But he's unable to capitalize with a pin and instead pulls Lindemann to his feet. Went for a spinning kick, but just missed. You can tell this match taking a lot out of both men. There's that enziguri to the back of the head. Tell me a lie, Robbie Eagles. Another big jumping enziguri. And a reverse, that's a heel hook, and that's enough. Lindemann taps out. 14 minutes and 11 seconds. Robbie Eagles. Hold on. There he is. Sorry, I have way too many tabs open right now. Robbie Eagles, the number 407 seed, advances past L. Lindemann. He will face the winner, actually, of our next match. So I won't drag this out. I'm not going to just say, oh, he's going to face the winner between blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Because that match is next. Bear with me a second while I get it set up in game. I am going to turn on some background music because, as mentioned, for whatever reason, I'm not getting audio from the game tonight. Let's see if we can get something. Let's do a little lo-fi. Feels like a lo-fi kind of night, doesn't it? I'm going to set up our next match here. Bear with me. All this is done live in game. I don't pre-record anything, so I am as surprised by the results as you are. Possibly not as surprised because I've watched, 41 and a half episodes or 41 and a quarter episodes of this. So I'm, I can recognize trends that maybe somebody watching for the first time can't. But I don't know who's going to win any of these matches in advance. I have the computer play both of them. All I do is pick the wrestlers, pick the referee, pick the arena. I designed the ring, and Fire Pro does the rest. So let's head to the ring for what should be a very exciting, high-flying encounter. And we know the winner will face Robbie Eagles later on. Out first, here comes Darius Martin, one half of Top Flight, who in real life is injured and has not been on AEW TV in several months. But you know what? Injuries don't matter in video games. Darius Martin is here, having pulled off upsets over Shelton Benjamin and Minoru Suzuki to get to this. Excuse me. El Hijo del Vikingo, the AAA Mega Champion, defeated Alice Crowley in episode 23, and then MVP in episode 33. AAA is 11-13, which is the second worst record among promotions with at least 20 matches. Mentioned MLW is the worst. And Vikingo is one of only 2 AAA wrestlers remaining. And of course, as I mentioned, the winner will be facing El Lindemann. And I just realized that for the first time in this tournament, I did not make a note of how they won or what the rating was. Wow, I was in such a rush to get to this next match, I blanked. Wow, I am really annoyed with myself right now, but you know what? The show must go on. Question marks. I guess I can go back and watch the replay to get the time of the match. I guess really the only thing I'm completely losing is the evaluation score, because I can go back and rewatch the stream to see the time, and then I can go into Eagles' move set to see what that move was called, that submission hold. Oh, and apparently my controller's battery died. Choo-choo! Hot Mess Express rolling into the station. So yeah, Vikingo firing off those kicks. Now Vikingo from... that information is not accurate, so let me pull up. He is from Heroica Puebla de Zaragoza in Puebla, Mexico. 5'7", 156 pounds, 9-year pro, only 25 years old. He's maybe the face of Lucha Libre right now. He's at least the unmasked face of Lucha Libre at the moment. An argument could be made that the biggest star in Lucha right now is Psycho Clown, who I love. I love Psycho Clown. But Vikingo is amazing. If you've never seen an Hijo del Vikingo match, I would say go out and find one, but they're really hard to find in America. There is some weird rights issue standing shooting star from Vikingo looking for the pin early. Only gets one, according to Dragon Gate's Takayuki Yagi, the unusually attired referee. Again, winner of this will face Robbie Eagles. AAA, yeah, there are some rights issues in the States, and it's basically impossible to legally watch AAA shows at the moment. There are some less than legal ways of doing it, if you're so inclined. But yeah, you're not going to find it streaming anywhere. So that makes it really hard for a fan. I love Lucha, but I only occasionally get to see it if I happen to find somebody, streaming the show, which is few and far between. There are a couple of Twitch streamers that do it. Slide into the DMs and I can give you some names, but I don't want to do it on the stream and out them. But yeah, Vikingo, very good. His match, where I think it was a 5-way where he won the title. Very exciting. I'm a little bummed that we didn't get him beating Kenny Omega clean to win the Mega title, but Kenny did have to vacate the belt due to injuries. It's a shame because that would have been a great one-on-one match, but the replacement match was very exciting. Super kick from Darius Martin, the former Airwolf, now off the top rope with a big splash. 1, 2.9, says Takayuki Yagi. Vikingo actually first to his feet after that into a nice spinning drop toe hold. Dragging Martin away from the ropes, now rolling through, bridging pin. 1, kick out by Martin. Vikingo now charging into the corner. Oh, Martin moves. A big kind of step up enziguri there, catching him behind the ear, and now a side suplex almost into the turnbuckles. Very dangerous move there from Martin. Vikingo taking exception to it, charges into the corner, and again Martin moves, but winds up eating a jawbreaker. Snap Rana there from Vikingo, and a snap suplex. El Hijo del Vikingo literally means the son of the Viking. Those of you that have been watching a while, we talk a lot about naming conventions in Lucha Libre. Oh, hold on. Sunset bomb from Martin. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Massive upset. The number 343 seed Darius Martin has advanced to the round of 64, defeating number 42, El Hijo del Vikingo. I did not see that coming when this night started. El Hijo del Vikingo is gone. 70% evaluation. Game did not care much for that. I don't think that's quite enough for it to land in the bottom 10. Let me see, what's the 10th lowest? Oh, no, it is. That will actually tie it for the third worst match of the tournament. That's a little harsh. I enjoyed that. It was too short. But yeah, now we know Darius Martin and Robbie Eagles will face off later on in this episode. Take the controller off the charger for a second as we now have our second straight Japanese star versus AEW wrestler. This time it will be Atsushi Kotoge representing Pro Wrestling Noah, taking on another Lucha All-Star, AEW's Rey Fenix. Or as the dapper yapper Justin Roberts calls him, Rey Fenix. Of course, you will never catch me saying it like that, but that's how Justin says it. So it's Kotoge against Fenix as soon as there we go. Sorry, I have thousands of wrestlers downloaded for the game because, I needed at least 500 for this, plus 150 for the women, plus 100 for the tag teams, and I went ahead and just all the major promotions. Might as well get the whole WWE roster, which then turned into might as well get the updated New Japan. Might as well get all on AEW. So now I have approximately all of the wrestlers, including these two. As the game slowly loads, I have noticed that since I got my PS5, the PS4 loads so much slower. It's like getting the new iPhone. Here comes Atsushi Kotoge from Pro Wrestling Noah. He is one half of the GHC Junior Tag Team Champions. From Kaizuka, Osaka, Japan. He upset Volador Jr. and then beat Grayson Waller to get to this point. Noah's 14-8, which is the best record among promotions with more than 20 matches. Kotoge, one of 3 Noah wrestlers remaining. And he's in there with Rey Fenix, 1/3 of the AEW Trios champions, alongside his brother Pentagon Jr. and Pac. Fenix beat Ari Daivari in episode 14, and then Avery Good in episode 33. There's the bell that no one can hear, including me, and Fenix and Kotoge are off to the races. The winner of this one, do we know who the winner will face? We don't. The winner will face the winner between Rich Swann and Dralistico, which is still to come. Second, while I clean up the bracket here. Robbie Eagles out. I'm sorry. Eagles is not out. Martin bracket. Exo out. And I can take Hatfield out. So you do know at this point, based on seeds, that the Darius Martin Robbie Eagles match will be the first match back from intermission, which we will take after match number 8. This is match number 5 of 12 tonight. Number 343, Darius Martin will take on 407 Robbie Eagles. Got another. Oh man! See, I look away to update the bracket, and Kotoge is busted open. Did anybody happen to catch what did that? This 3 minutes in, and Kotoge is already just as they would say in the UK, bleeding a gusher. Went for a big kick, but Fenix dodged it, scooping a slam from Kotoge. Kotoge off the ropes now. Big, just a PK to the chest. Fenix 5'9.5", 185 pounds. Kotoge also 5'9.5", 201 pounds. Got a slight size advantage, but very, very slight. They're also, I believe, both 16-year pros. Actually, they both crept into 17-year territory. Yeah. And actually, Cage Match has their weight's a little different than Wikipedia does, but you know what? That's what I get for getting my info from multiple sources. I am using the Wikipedia height and weight, not the cage match. Katoge running the ropes. Has to slam on the brakes because he saw Fenix getting to his feet. Smart veteran move from the 17-year pro. Going for the pin, only gets one. Did mention that he is currently one half of the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, alongside Seiki Yoshioka. It is his 10th reign with those titles. Oh, Kokeshi headbutt there from Katoge. Katoge has held those titles with Taiji Ishimori twice, four times with Daisuke Harada, once with Kotaro Suzuki, once with Hajime Ohara, once with Yohei, and now Seiki Yoshioka. Air raid crash from Katoge, and just a standing splash. 1, 2. Fenix kicks out. I did mention they're both 17-year pros. Fenix actually 5 years younger. Started wrestling at age 14, whereas Katoge waited till he was 19. But Fenix to the top. I'm going to wait for Katoge to get to his feet. Meteora from Fenix. Katoge with an Uranagi taking him down. Usually purview of the Samoan wrestlers, but anybody can throw it. Katoge throws it well. Speaking of being thrown, Katoge sent to the floor by Fenix, leaving some blood spatter on the ringside mats. Whew. Man, he's really bloody. Took less than 3 minutes for him to get busted open. I do wish I had seen in real time what happened there, because I was... Oh, hold on. Shiranui from Fenix doesn't go for the pin. It does look like he's setting up for something. Go behind, no. Standing switch from Katoge into a butterfly suplex. No, Fenix kicks out the knee. A pretty heelish move from the Technico. Katoge rolls through. 1, 2.9. Very close there. Fenix with a backslide. 1, 2.9. Katoge kicks out. Kick to the midsection. Katoge now off the ropes. Big kick to the back of Fenix's head. Just a snap Rana there from Fenix. Stomping away on Katoge. Fenix up ropes, drop down. Katoge now to his feet. Oh, passed through by Fenix. Oh, but a swinging neck breaker from Katoge. Atsushi Katoge in the white tights with the pink lettering. And oh, Canadian Destroyer from Fenix. But Katoge bounces right back to his feet. Looked like he was going for a slam, but Fenix reversed that into a small package. The referee, of course, correctly pointing out that they were in the ropes and not counting. Katoge sets Fenix off the rope, goes for a crossbody, takes him down. Going him up by the mask, drop toe hold from Fenix. I'm assuming the crowd is roaring, even though I have no audio from the crowd. Not sure why I'm not getting audio from the game. We'll try and fix that during the intermission after match number 8. Scoop. Nope. Cradle Tombstone from Fenix. Brutal move. A standing moonsault. 1, 2. Katoge kicks out at 2. Went for a step up Enziguri, but Fenix dodged it. Katoge's got him up. Nope. Fenix escapes. Sent off the ropes. Dropped down by Katoge. Oh, and they collide. Both men down. Fenix first to his feet. Katoge's up as well. And Katoge just slams Fenix's head off the top turnbuckle. Again, the winner of this match will face the winner between Rich Swann and Dralistico later on tonight. Trade blows here. Punches from Fenix. Forearms from Katoge back and forth. And Fenix with the super kick. Scoop. Nope. Fenix again with a small package. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Just a small package right in the middle of the ring. And Rey Fenix is your winner. Moving on to the round of 64 and a showdown with either Rich Swann or Dralistico. Now, unlike earlier, I'm going to make a note of all of the pertinent stats from that match. So I can't believe I did that on that Eagles-Lindemann match. Rey Fenix advances after victory over Atsushi Katoge, 89% quality. I'm really not liking these matches tonight. This is, I mean, for all I know, it loved the Eagles-Lindemann match, but Atsushi Katoge, the next wrestler to fall here in the 500. There are 5 matches in on our 12-match card. You know, Fenix will face either Rich Swann or Dralistico. It will either be a chalk match or a lucha match, which either one I'm totally down for. That sounds awesome. Up next, teased it earlier, we know the winner of this one will be facing the War Machine, Mr. Mayhem, Wardlow, who earlier tonight made relatively short work of Weber Hatfield. You know Wardlow is hoping MJF wins so he can get his hands on his former boss. But MJF has a very tall task ahead of him, as he must face one of the most dangerous men I had ever seen in pro wrestling, Masato Tanaka. So, man, I'm a hot mess tonight. My allergies have decided to just flare up right now in the middle of the show. So if you hear me sniffling, that's why. It is my nose is very congested all of a sudden. But now, let's head to the ring. MJF and Masato Tanaka for the right to face Wardlow later on. So Phoenix won. So we know, based on the seeds, Phoenix will be in our main event tonight. We just don't know who his opponent will be. But the 0-1 world champion, Masato Tanaka, making his way to the ring. He is the number 154 seed in our tournament. Defeated Daisuke Harada in round 1 and upset Rey Mysterio in round 2. And he's in there against the devil himself, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. Recently returned to AEW with his new faction, the Firm. He defeated Colby Carino in round 1 and then Octagon Jr. in round 2. That match was 100% quality. Daisuke Kiso from Tokyo Joshi Pro is our referee for this one. Again, winner faces Wardlow later on tonight. Tanaka representing 0-1. 0-1 has gone 7-1 in the tournament, which is the best among promotions with at least 3 matches. Tanaka is one of 2 0-1 wrestlers remaining. MJF going for the Salt of the Earth armbar early, but Tanaka able to escape. So, Masato Tanaka. I, like a lot of American wrestling fans, first became aware of him thanks to Extreme Championship Wrestling and his series of matches with Mike Awesome. He is the current 0-1 World Heavyweight Champion, his 6th reign with that title. He's also one half of the Blast King Tag Team Champions with Hide Kubota. He is also former AWA World Champion, Blast King Champion, 2-time Blast King Tag Team Champion, 2-time ECW World Tag Team Champion, former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. 2 times he was FMW's Brass Knuckles Tag Team Champion. 3 times he was FMW's 6-man Street Fight Tag Team Champion. He was also a former FMW World Street Fight 6-man Tag Team Champion, which is apparently something different. FMW Double Champion, GHC Tag Team Champion, GWC Tag Team Champion, Hustle Hardcore Hero Champion, IWGP Intercontinental Champion, KOD Openweight Champion, Never Openweight Champion, 8-time NWA Intercontinental Tag Team Champion, PWF Tag Team Champion, WEW Heavyweight Champion, 2-time WEW 6-man Tag Team Champion, WEW Tag Team Champion, World 1 Heavyweight Champion, Wrestle 1 Tag Team Champion, 0-1 United National Heavyweight Champion, and again, he's on his 6th reign as 0-1 World Heavyweight Champion. Tanaka has done it all. The 49-year-old, 29-year pro from Wakayama, Japan, in there with MJF, who Tanaka was a 3-year veteran when MJF was born. MJF is a prodigy, 26 years old, only a 7-year pro, trained by Brian Myers and Pat Buck at the Creator Wrestler School in New York. He is, of course, from Plainview, Long Island, as he will remind us all of. But yeah, it's only 7 years in the business, and is arguably already the top heel in the industry, aside from Roman Reigns. But he's a guy, other than AEW, has held titles everywhere he's been. He was MLW Tag Team Champion, Limitless World Champion, Inspire Pro Pure Prestige Champion, AAW Heritage Champion, CZW Champion, MLW World Middleweight Champion, CZW Wired Champion. He has been around the block many, many times in his 7 short years. And he was a coup for AEW to sign when the promotion was first starting up 3 years ago. And now he won the Casino ladder match. He has a world title shot whenever he wants it. But he could also go into that match as the simulated world champion if he can win 7 more matches. Which is a daunting task, but somebody's going to do it, so why not Max? Got with the face there from Tanaka, and that might be why not Max. It might be because he's running into Masato Tanaka, who types read Dangan, meaning bullet, just one of the most dangerous men in wrestling history. It's hard to talk about Tanaka and Awesome and their great matches in the wake of what we now know about traumatic head injuries. Tanaka, luckily, still around, still, productive wrestler. He still puts on good matches. He has toned down the blunt force trauma to the head that got him noticed in America initially 2 decades ago. MJF, man, I wish I could have heard what he said there, but again, no audio from the game. Big lariat from MJF. It's not usually something we see him pull out, but I guess when in Rome, or in this case, when in Japan, I suppose. Tanaka now I thought he was going to walk into the corner, but instead just drops him with an elbow to the spine and a punch to the back of the head. MJF now back in control, stomping away on Tanaka's midsection, now choking him with his boot. Has the 10.5-minute mark on this, our 6th of 12 matches tonight. We do know that the winner of this match later on will be facing Wardlow. Either way, that's going to be a very exciting match. Pile driver from MJF. 1, 2.9. Very arrogant pin, shocking, from MJF. Oh, rolling elbow from Tanaka. And taste of his own medicine, 2.9. Neither man hooking a leg after their big move. Oh, MJF. Is MJF putting Tanaka's head in his tights when he's doing that pile driver? Is that what that extra step is? Again, not hooking a leg. 2.9. Again, Tanaka kicks out of it. Trading blows back and forth. Big forearms from Tanaka. Big punches from MJF. Discus lariat from Masato Tanaka. Again goes for the pin. Again does not hook a leg. 2.9. If somebody would hook a leg, we might have a winner by now. Rolling elbow. Again, 1, 2.9. MJF taking Tanaka's best. And just punches him in the balls. All right. Yeah, that's the MJF we all came to expect. But Tanaka with a variation on the awesome bomb, 2.9. Tribute to his longtime rival Mike Awesome, just power bombing him straight into that pinning combination. chop from Tanaka just knocks MJF down. MJF now fires back with an elbow of his own. MJF spending too much time playing to the crowd and not enough putting Tanaka away. Tanaka making him pay for it. MJF sends him into the corner. Hang him from the tree of woe. And now those forearms to the thigh, trying to get a Charlie horse on Tanaka there. Going for another pile driver? Yes, that was just a straight up pile driver. Oh, MJF signaling that Tanaka smells? Not sure what that was. Well, he just ate a forearm there from Tanaka, and then drops him down with an atomic drop. Tanaka dragging MJF away from the corner. Now going to the top rope. It's not usually Tanaka's forte, but he lands a beautiful frog splash. But MJF actually first to his feet. Tanaka just knocks him back down with a forearm. Going for that frog splash again. No, diving fist drop this time. Drags Max away from the ropes. Again goes for the pin without hooking the leg. 2, 3, didn't need to hook the leg. Masato Tanaka has pulled off another upset, eliminating Maxwell Jacob Friedman MJF to set up a 4th round showdown with Wardlow. Masato Tanaka is your winner. Yeah, that's going to be a good one later on. Diving fist drop is what the game is calling that finish. Number 154. Tanaka over 26. Was that MKFC? Excuse me. 96%. That's the highest evaluation of the show so far. It was a good match. Would have loved to have seen somebody hook the leg at any point during it, but apparently he didn't need it after that diving fist drop. Masato Tanaka has moved on the round of 64 and a showdown with Wardlow. Got 2 more matches to go before intermission. Got 2 more spots to fill in our 4th round matches that are coming up after the break. Ryohei Nakatani from Big Japan Wrestling will be the referee for this encounter, as we have yet another AEW versus Japan showdown. So far, AEW 1-1 in those showdowns. Rey Fenix beat Atsushi Katoge. Masato Tanaka just beat MJF. And we will now see the first of 2 chalk matches we have on tonight's card, which is, those of you not familiar with bracket nomenclature, it means that the wrestlers that should be here are here. The higher seed in each of their matches has advanced. When the bracket was drawn up in the round of 128, you expect to see number 7 against number 122. So in that specific case means that we are about to see honestly, a dream match for me. Will Ospreay and Ricky Starks. Starks will be the first to the ring here. All Elite Wrestling from New Orleans, Louisiana. Recently turned babyface. He defeated Joshua Bishop and Shane Haste to get to this point. Absolute Ricky Starks. Debuted on the PWI 500 in 2020 at number 92. Slipped to 122 in 2021, which is the rank that we are basing this on. But let's see. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There's so many tabs on Cage Matches. Easy to get lost. I'm looking for the awards tab, which will tell me what he was rated this. No, it won't. But he was rated on this year, and I'm assuming it's probably higher than what it was. There's the bell. Ryohei Nakatani calls for it, scooping a slam by Starks to start things off. A 10-year pro. Started when he was 22, so he's 32 now. He's got 3 years of age on Ospreay, but Ospreay actually an 11-year pro. He started when he was 18. The Commonwealth Kingpin, the Sky King, the Aerial Assassin, the number 7 seed in our tournament. He is the current IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, has been for 113 days. Of course, he's also a former IWGP World Champion, 3-time Junior Heavyweight Champion, held titles in Rev Pro, Progress, everywhere. Oh, also never Openweight Champion. Pretty much all throughout Europe before going to Japan and cementing his spot as one of the best wrestlers in the world. Number 7 on last year's PWI 500, which is what got him a first-round bye in this tournament, and then a second-round showdown with Shima, which he won to get to this match with Starks. Starks dragging Ospreay away from the corner. Kick to the midsection. Of course, Ospreay showed up for the first time on most American fans' radar based on a match he had against Ricochet a few years ago that was pretty divisive. People that like the high-flying acrobatic style that, we talked earlier about Lucha Libre, people that like that style loved it. It was basically the perfect encapsulation of that style of wrestling. For the more old school wrestling fans who prefer their wrestling more grounded, more psychology based, and less spot based, they hated it. And Ospreay has been kind of battling to win back those people's approval ever since. I don't think he needs it. He is undoubtedly one of the best wrestlers in the world, but his United Empire faction has done him a lot of good in terms of credibility. After he turned on Okada last year. Hard to keep track because this tournament has been going for over a year. So the research that I did for the previous evaluation period is now all over a year old. So it was either a year or 2 ago that he formed the Empire with Jeff Cobb, Great O'Khan. Now Aussie Open is part of it. Francesco Akira, TJP. Starks playing to the crowd. Just a straight knee to the face from Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks. I don't know why. I'm guessing it's a Taz impression. Why JR insists on calling him Starks. Because he's from New Orleans. That's not his accent at all. Ospreay, 6'1", 231, slightly bigger than the 6', 195 Starks. But both men can fly. Both men very technically skilled as well. But I suspect we will see Starks try to keep Ospreay grounded, while Ospreay will want to take to the sky. Nice drop kick to the back of the head. Series of forearms from Absolute Ricky Starks. Go behind. Nope, standing switch by Ospreay. Nice rolling pin, but right into the ropes. We've seen a lot of that tonight. Not great ring awareness from wrestlers here in the third round of the 500. Of course, to win the 500, you must win either 8 or 9 matches. If you're shooting star press from Ospreay, then a knee drop across the back of the head. Didn't go for the cover after that beautiful shooting star. Starks now coming off the ropes. Jumping European uppercut. Spin kick to the midsection from Ospreay. Oh, Poison Rana. Doesn't follow up with a pin attempt. The Commonwealth Kingpin, the Sky King, the aerial assassin. Ospreay. Oh, hold on. What's he going for here? Just dropping him on the back of his head. 1, 2. Starts now with a sidewalk slam. We're past the 9-minute mark of this one. The winner will face Satoshi Kojima later on in this episode. Ospreay go behind on Starks. No, Starks just kicks him below the belt. That's 2 straight matches. We've seen that used very effectively. Big drop kick from Ospreay. Starks swings and misses on the forearm. Doesn't miss on the small package. 1, 2. Count only, according to referee Ryohei Nakatani. Excuse me. Good Lord. These supplements are going to be the death of me. I mean, in all honesty, I may stop taking them. They're working, but what they're doing to my body is not super fun. Oz Cutter off the middle rope. hooks the leg. 1, 2, 0.9. Starks kicks out of the Oz Cutter. Starks wants this bad. He wants that showdown with Kojima. Small package. Oh, are we going for Rochambeau? We are. Beautiful move there from Starks, dragging him away from the ropes. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, 0.9. Ospreay kicks out. Both men have kicked out of each other's finishes now. Starks kicked out of the Oz Cutter. Ospreay just kicked out of Rochambeau. It's still anyone's match here at the 12.5-minute mark. Backslide pin from Ospreay. 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess it wasn't anyone's match because 14 seconds later, Will Ospreay picks up the win to advance to a 4th-round showdown with Satoshi Kojima. It'll be an all New Japan match in our round of 64. Number 7, Will Ospreay advances. Now, you may be thinking, well, of course he advances. He's the number 7 seed. The high seeds in this tournament have not done well. We'll talk about that when we come back from intermission, which we'll go to after our next match. But yeah, Ospreay, off the top of my head, I'm not looking at it, but I believe he is the 3rd highest seed remaining at number 7, which is, not a great showing from the top seeds in this tournament. But now it's time for our pre-intermission main event. This is the last round 3 match of this show. Mac Takeda will be our referee as Lucha Libre star and current independent wrestler. He is not affiliated with any major promotions at the moment. I'll get into it as the match goes on, but Dralistico will be facing Impact. This is the first time we've seen Impact Wrestling on this show. Rich Swann at Gotta Get Swann, one of the most exciting, actually 2 of the most exciting wrestlers in the world. Let's head to ringside as Mac Takeda will be our referee. Here we go. ... question mark. We do know the winner of this match will main event tonight against Rey Fenix. Out first, here comes Dralistico, the 119th seed in our tournament from Tala, Jalisco, Mexico. He defeated Tommy Dreamer in round 1 and then Mike Outlaw in round 2 to get to this point. And he is in there with the number 10 seed, Baltimore, Maryland's Rich Swann. Swann had a first-round bye by virtue of being one of the top 12 seeds in the tournament. And then he defeated John Silver in a 100% quality match in round 2. That was back in episode 33, if you want to check that out. Swann representing Impact, which has gone 26-24 in this tournament, which is the 2nd worst record among promotions with at least 50 matches. And Swann is one of 5 Impact wrestlers remaining. So, I teased it a little bit. Dralistico, 30 years old. I don't have an exact number of years as a pro. Let's see. Cage Match has matches for him going back to 2011. So I'm guessing that's when he debuted, which was 11 years ago, which would have made him about 19 when he started. Swann, 31 years old. A 14-year pro, got a very diverse training team. Drew Gulak, Darren Wise, Adam Flash, Ray Alexander, DJ Hyde, Ruckus, and BLKGs. And Dralistico trained by the Pitbulls, Toro Blanco, Arcangel de la Muerte, and Franco Colombo. El Príncipe de Plata y Oro, the Prince of Silver and Gold, and La Nueva Era, the new era, Swann, of course, the outlandish Rich Swann. So, Dralistico. I'm going to try to do this as close to from memory as I can. Started his career as the second, as the first Dragon Lee. Not to be confused with the current Dragon Lee, aka Ryu Lee. He started his career as Dragon Lee. When the biggest star in Mexico at the time, Mystico, was signed to WWE, where he would then become Sin Cara. Per Lucha tradition, Mystico passed his mask on to a new Mystico, who was Dragon Lee. So Dragon Lee became the second Mystico, which is great. Up until Sin Cara gets released from WWE, and now Mystico is back in Mexico, and he wants to be Mystico again, because of course, his greatest success came under that mask and under that name. So why wouldn't you want to be Mystico? So, so the new Mystico, former Dragon Lee, cannot become Dragon Lee again, because now once he adopted the Mystico name, his brother became the new Dragon Lee. So he can't use either of the gimmicks that he's been using up to that point. And so he decided to combine his two previous names. Dragon Lee and Mystico becomes Dralistico. So that's where that name came from. I think I did that right. But of course, as always, feel free to correct me in the comments if I didn't. Rich Swann, as far as I know, has just always been Rich Swann. He's, had, one-off gimmicks here and there. But at least as far back as I can remember seeing him, Rich Swann has always been Rich Swann and has always been one of the most exciting wrestlers in the world. And this, obviously, if you've been watching this while you've been listening to my ramblings, you can see this match not disappointing in the high-flying department. And you gotta know Rey Fenix is itching for a shot at either of these two. That will be a very exciting fourth round showdown. The winner, of course, will face Fenix in our main event, which means I can start setting up doing the referee draws for the next round. 154. A little dancing there from Swann, who now heads to the top rope. Oh, snap, Huracan Rana, but they were in the ropes. Whole lot of that going on tonight. You gotta pay more attention to where you are in the ring. Whole New Japan showdown. After the break, when Ospreay takes on Kojima. Nice takedown on that side slam from Swann, but he's not able to capitalize right away. Does go back to the top. He's going for that Rana again. Nope. Dralistico saw it coming and moved and lands a super kick. It's a super kick fiesta here. Goes for the roll up, but Swann was all up in the ropes. You gotta get Swann away from the rope. Big back diving elbow from Swann. Dralistico sends him into the corner. He backflips out of it. Right into a hooking kick from Dralistico, who now goes to the top rope himself. Guillotine leg drop. Shades of the legendary Psicosis, one of my all-time favorite luchadors. Leapfrog by Swann. They collide. DDT from outlandish Rich Swann. Prince of Silver and Gold still down. Nice back up. Both to their feet. They're sort of having a dance-off. I don't really know what's going on here. Oh! Dralistico waited for Swann to stop dancing and then just kicked him in the midsection. Now a destroyer, dropping him right on the top of his head. Dralistico with the lateral press. 1, 2. Say it with with me, folks. He should have hooked the leg. Swann still dancing. You would think he would have learned by now. Dragging him away from the ropes, now sent off the ropes himself. Tilt-a-whirl into an armbar from Dralistico. The Rana, nope, rolled through by Swann, right into the ropes. Big left hand, now they're exchanging blows here, back and forth. Super kick from Dralistico. Sends Swann into the corner, follows him in. A series of boots to the midsection. Now choking him with the boot. Dralistico working a little rudo here in this match. Eschewing his usual technico side. A super kick. Now onto the apron, looking for a springboard of some kind, probably. Indeed, springboard into a Huracan Rana. Swann in the ropes. Swann now up to the top, diving back elbow. And another. Indeed, good things come in threes, including back elbows from Rich Swann, and Dralistico just kicks his head off. Super kick fiesta again. Now going for that springboard into the Rana. 1, 2, and kicked out. Swann now into that fisherman's side slam. Now to the top rope. What's he going for? He's actually letting Dralistico get to his feet. Dralistico had it scouted, walked away, and then fires off an enziguri. Drop toe hold from Swann. And he's not able to capitalize. He has to stop and catch his breath. These two have been working a breakneck pace here for 16 and a half minutes. Keep in mind, the winner has to face Rey Fenix later on tonight. Possibly the fastest wrestler in the world. Swann now coming off the ropes. Into a roll-up out of the Rana. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Rich Swann is your winner. Swann and Rey Fenix will be our main event tonight. Big win there from Rich Swann. Great showing from Dralistico. No shame in that loss. Rich Swann is our winner. Face Fenix in our main event. 98%. That's our highest rated match so far. The show is building. Game is calling that finish the leg cross flying roll up pin. Why use many word when few word do trick? All right, so we now know after the break it will be Darius Martin against Robbie Eagles, Masato Tanaka against Wardlow, Will Ospreay against Satoshi Kojima, and Rich Swann against Rey Fenix. Those are 4 huge matches coming up after the break. Lots of high flying. Should be a blast to watch. Don't go anywhere, folks. The 500 episode was 42. We'll be right back. back. Sorry, I was hoping to have the match, the entrances started by the time we came back, but I got caught up messaging one of my buddies from FXE, who might be joining us in the chat here momentarily. Cool. So we might be hearing from Nate Coots here shortly, one of my buddies from over at FXE. But we are here for some fourth round action as Robbie Eagles, the sniper of the skies, who we saw earlier on, upset El Lindemann in a controversial match. Only controversial because I screwed everything up and didn't make note of the finish, which is the first time in 42 episodes of this show I have failed to do so. His opponent is Darius Martin. So this is the number 343 seed against the number 407 seed for a spot in the final 32. Martin pulled off an upset of his own, beating El Hijo del Vikingo in a match that is tied for the third lowest rated of the tournament. All Japan's Kyohei Wada is our referee. Frank Atsushi was supposed to be a referee for these final four matches, but because we wound up with an all-New Japan match, he has been bumped to next week, and Borden from New Japan will be officiating the Ospreay Kojima match coming up shortly. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. I love these. I'm really enjoying these lo-fi jams. Thank you, StreamYard, for providing just some license-free music for us to use on our stream here. Man, I'm really excited for that Swann Fenix main event. That's going to be a blast. The winner of this will face the winner of that match. Swann Fenix match. That will be a fifth round match. That'll be a match happening in the round of 32, which is wild to think that we are almost down to the final 32. We started with 500 when this tournament started, and we are now I think we had 68 when this episode started, so we're down to 60. Pretty wild. Good. Okay. Sorry. The distractions have ended. Martin chopping Eagles in the corner. Should be another exciting high-flying match between Martin and Eagles. Two of the great, young guns in this industry. I guess Eagles at 32. Young is relative when you're 40, like I am. But Darius Martin, 23, actually legit young. Formerly known as Airwolf, one half of Top Flight with his brother Dante. As I mentioned earlier, he has been out significant periods of time with injuries. But look at who he was trained by. That'll tell you, when he's in the ring, he knows what he's doing. He was at the Academy School of Professional Wrestling, which is the school that's run by Ken Anderson, Eric Cannon, Sean and Ari Davari, and Molly Holly. So this is a guy who was trained by the best. Of course, Robbie Eagles trained by Madison and Ryan Eagles. He, former rugby, former football player. Martin pretty much just always been a wrestler. Both technical styles. Martin does favor the high flying. Eagles can't take the skies with him, hence the Sniper of the Skies nickname. But this, so far, back and forth match. Eagles dragging Martin away from the ropes, goes for the pin. Say it with me, kids. Shoulda hooked a leg. Oh, and the referee is down. And he missed just an enziguri. Oh, but he's not there to count the pin when somebody's finally actually hooking the leg. Ah, travesty of justice. Super kick from Martin. Now they're trading blows here. Big forearm from Eagles actually fells Martin. You guys should go after this this episode is done. You should go follow my buddy Nate over at Big Daddy Nate 250 here on Twitch. He is streaming Warzone, so I'll be heading over there when this is done to watch him play. But first, Martin just chopping the crap out of the thighs of Robbie Eagles. And now into a very unusual submission. Forearm super kick from Eagles. Closing in on a 10-minute mark here. Keep in mind, Eagles went question mark minutes with Lindemann earlier. Martin and Hijo del Vikingo. 10 minutes, 16 seconds was the shortest match of the night thus far. So Martin, theoretically the fresher of the two, although his match was after Eagles. So what do I know? I don't know anything. Martin to the top rope, changed his mind, drops right back down, instead sends Eagles into the corner. Reversal, kick to the ribs. Martin now off the ropes. Running senton. Friends over at New Legacy Inc. I call them my friends. It's an entirely parasocial relationship. I've never met any of them, but I love them. They would call that the big boy, except Martin, not that big, so maybe it's a little boy senton. On the logo now, Martin runs up and over. Martin, oh, and there is Eagles with his pulse drop finisher, but he's just not done with him. The step up enziguri there. Off the ropes by Martin. Martin with a leapfrog and a deep arm drag. Now Martin going to the top rope. Is he actually going to do something this time? Yes, indeed. Big splash off the top. 1, 2.9. Eagles kicks out. Forearm to the face. Forearm to the face. They're trading blows here. Martin with a go behind side suplex. Yes, indeed. That's the 12-minute mark. Both men down on the mat, catching their breath, both to their feet simultaneously. But Eagles takes Martin down with just a kick to the ribs, and now a step-up enziguri. Elbow to the face, and another pulse drop. Still not satisfied. Martin might make him pay for that. Big running boot from Eagles. Forearm to the face. Super kick from Martin. But he's not able to capitalize. I'm going to stop and catch his breath. Again, these matches taking a lot out of these guys, and this is the second time they have each wrestled tonight. Martin sends him into the corner, can charge in. Oh, I thought that Eagles had reversed it, but Martin with that Airwolf howl after a very gnarly head scissor pile driver variation. Trading forearms from Eagles, chops from Martin. Oh, and Eagles with a roundhouse kick to the head. Forearm from Eagles. Sends him off the ropes. Deep arm drag. Lucha style on the right side. And another big forearm and a chop to the chest, and Eagles goes down. Martin again with that silent howl because we, for some reason, have no audio from the game itself. Hence the lo-fi beats in the background, which is, kind of soothing on a Sunday night. I've got to be back up and at work in little over 12 hours. Air raid crash from Martin. Unable to capitalize. Maybe that's the Airwolf crash? Let's call it the Airwolf crash. I like the sound of that. Does he already call it that and I'm just ripping off his own name? Nope. Super kick from Darius Martin. I'm going to call it the Airwolf crash. Now sent off the ropes. Big boot from Eagles. Eagles signaling that it might be over. Is he going for the pulse drop again? Nope. Just a step up enziguri. Just another big old kick to the head because he hasn't done that enough in this match. Talked earlier about traumatic brain injuries, and Eagles just demonstrating it. Oh my God! Just was that the Ron Miller's? I don't know what that was. That might have been his turbo backpack. He's got a lot of very strange names for his moves. Just the 14-year veteran from New South Wales, Tope Con Hero. And a pulse drop on the floor. That's the hardest part of the floor. Just open a slam for Martin. on the 18-minute mark. Martin posing out of the top rope. Another big splash. 1, 2, 3. Darius Martin advances. Back-to-back wins tonight over El Hijo del Vikingo and Robbie Eagles has put Darius Martin, the Airwolf, into the round of 32. The number 343 seed is now one of the final 32 men standing, or 32 people standing. There are still 3 women in the tournament as well. We'll see how they fare in the coming weeks. But Darius Martin, we now know, has advanced to the round of 32, where he will face either Rich Swann or Rey Fenix, depending on how that match goes later on tonight. Darius Martin, the number 343 seed, over number 407, Robbie Eagles. 96% quality, 17 minutes, 57 seconds. The diving body press. All right, folks. I always kind of jokingly thought that it would be very funny to have a wrestler called the Penultimate Warrior, who's like warrior adjacent, but he's not quite. You get the joke. But I feel like that would probably get whatever promotion I was booking for in some legal trouble. Another thing that might get us in some legal trouble is 2 men killing each other in the ring, which may very well happen in our next match. This would be one of Big E's favorite matches because we're about to see 2 meaty men slapping meat, as 01's Masato Tanaka takes on AEW's Wardlow. This one is going to be violent. It will probably be bloody, and it's definitely starting now. Or it would be if Fire Pro would load a little faster. Go, spinning, spinning, spinning. I'm sorry, PS4, that I'm playing the PS5 more often lately, but you know how it was. I favored you over the 360 when I got you. Here comes Mr. Mayhem, Wardlow. We saw him earlier tonight in our opening contest when he defeated Weber Hatfield with a Splash Mountain Bomb. That got him into this match. The referee, you saw Lee Nakan from All Japan Pro Wrestling. And his opponent, the number 154 seed, upset Wardlow's former boss. Hey, Andy, welcome to the chat. I had to make a reference to it. When it's Tanaka and Wardlow, how else can you describe it other than big meaty men slapping meat? Tanaka earlier pulled off the huge upset over MJF to set up this match. Wardlow's disappointed he didn't get his chance at MJF. Kind of makes you wonder if maybe MJF threw the match because he didn't want Wardlow here in the 4th round. But either way, here it is, Tanaka and Wardlow in our semi main event. The winner will face the winner between Will Ospreay and Satoshi Kojima in 3 weeks in the round of 32. Just kind of taking turns whipping each other into corners. Nobody doing much. Arm drag there from Tanaka. Now sending Wardlow. Nope. Reversal by Wardlow. Charging with shoulders into the midsection. There we go. Some actual offense. Well done, fellas. And Tanaka with another Irish whip. Nope. Went to charge in. Wardlow moved. So Tanaka stopped and snap married him instead. I don't know if there's a language barrier or what's going on here, but high back body drop by Wardlow. Apparently, whatever confusion was happening is now over, as Wardlow slammed Tanaka, got a 0 count, according to Lee Nakan, our referee. Another high back body drop. So far, fairly basic wrestling 101 happening right here. Vertical suplex from Wardlow after a little bit of a delay. Shades of the late, great Davey Boy Smith there. Tanaka went for a clothesline. Wardlow ducked. Another possible miscommunication. I don't know what's going on, but I have a lot of experience with that feeling. Collar and elbow. Tanaka just chops Wardlow right across the chest. And a big shoulder block takes him down. 1. Referee way out of position on that one. Only got a 1 count, but also, say it with me, boys and girls, he should have hooked the leg. He might have gotten 2 out of it, even with Lee Nakan being out of position. So I guess it doesn't matter. 1 and 2 are the same because neither of them are 3. Big clothesline from Wardlow, taunting the crowd, but you can't hear it because, again, no audio from the game tonight for some reason, hence the lo-fi beats in the background. Elbow to the back and then a stomp to the back. Tanaka clearly concentrating on the back of Wardlow. Big forearm and a punch, and we're just gonna strike back and forth here. A big old brawl, which is exactly what we expected out of this match. Two guys swinging for the fences. I will again admire Tanaka's restraint in having not brought a weapon into the ring. Yeah, I suspect that I've made the Midland public school system less than thrilled with that statement as well. But you know what? In wrestling, if we don't dumb it down a little bit, then, you know, heaven forbid somebody do some research into something. You know, follow QR codes to figure out who the White Rabbit is. But why didn't we get a video package to explain who Bandito is? Even though we got 3, but whatever. I digress. Wardlow to the top rope and a swanton. Nope. Tanaka rolled out of the way and diving elbow out of a scorpion position. Big punch from Wardlow and an enziguri from Tanaka. Both men down, both men up. Sort of been a theme in this match. Tanaka going for... Is he going to... Oh, brain buster. I thought he was going to suplex Wardlow to the floor. Instead, he just dropped him right on his top knot. And a big forearm to the face. Not quite the rolling elbow. Scoop and a slam from Wardlow. So we passed the 7-minute mark of our anti-penultimate match of the show. That's right. I have said 1 and 2 are the same because neither of them are 3, and anti-penultimate in the same match. That's the kind of quality commentary you can expect here at Pro Wrestling Simulated and on FXC Crush Live when we finally go live in the next few months sometime. Wardlow now going for a powerbomb. Is that the first movement of the symphony, or is he just going for the pin? 1, 2. Hey, look at that. He hooked a leg, but only 2.9. Tanaka rolling elbow. Goes for the pin. Only a lateral press. 2.9. Trading finishers here. It's AEW and Japanese tradition. Both men kind of, not no selling, but kicking out of the opponent's finish. Tanaka again going for the pin. 2.9. These pinfalls getting closer and closer. Again, maybe if someone would hook a leg. Oh, here we go. Powerbomb number 2 from Wardlow. Hooks the leg. 1, 2.9. Tanaka kicks out again. Tanaka's like, you fool. I have taken power bombs from Mike Awesome over the top ropes through tables after being concussed 17 times in the same match. You'll need more than 2 standard power bombs to beat me. He does do the Rob Van Dam frog splash and then sell his own midsection, but unable to capitalize. Thrown down by his hair by Wardlow, who then just takes his head off at a clothesline. I was right on the border between clothesline and lariat. Rolling elbow. Going for the pin. Yes, does not hook a leg though. 1, 2, 3. He didn't need to. Masato Tanaka is moving on to the round of 32. The 154th seed in our 500-person tournament is now in the final 32. Congratulations, Gangan Masato Tanaka. Wardlow doubly disappointed tonight. 1, he didn't get his hands on MJF. 2, he's eliminated from the tournament. Last year's ECW developing an immunity to powerbombs. Yes, never go in against Masato Tanaka when powerbombs are on the line. That is a lesson that Wardlow should have heeded had someone vocalized it to him before the match, which, you know, that's not my job. You're not my supervisor. All right, our next match is going to be an all-New Japan showdown. Bear with me one moment while, you know, I have to actually set it up. All of this is live. Fire Pro doesn't let you build cards, matches in advance the way that I would like, so I have to do each match individually. So, Andy, how you doing tonight? You've been active in the chat. You have been having good times. You guys avoid the worst of the winds on the west side of Ian down there? the drawback to Twitch. There we go. Pretty good thing. Ian missed my neck of the woods completely. Oh, good. Good. Glad to hear that. A lot of my friends in Florida, not so lucky. Fortunately, everybody is okay. But there's going to be some insurance claims. I know a lot of people were not so lucky. Saw some photos from the local news of my former commute completely underwater, which is kind of a terrifying thought. Another terrifying thought, Satoshi Kojima, one half of the GHC Tag Team Champions with Takashi Sugiura. Earlier on tonight, we saw him the Seeds call it an upset, but he did beat Delmi Exo with a spine bomb. He's in there against the IWGP United States Champion Will Ospreay, who took down Ricky Starks earlier tonight in the third round. The winner of this will face Masato Tanaka in the round of 32. Your referee is Justin Borden, which sounds like it should mean something. I know that feels my old college destroyed. Yeah. There's something very odd about seeing familiar sights in that condition. There was a really bad flood in the town I grew up in. Gosh, 3 years ago, maybe now. And legitimately, the drone shots flying over, you could see my high school. The entire parking lot was underwater, and it was halfway up the windows. Midland is the convergence point of three major rivers that flow through mid-Michigan, and they just got a whole lot of rain all at once, and nothing held. And that's hard to look at. And then it was, it's hard to see again. And I don't have quite the emotional attachment to Central Florida that I did to mid-Michigan, because I was only there for 6 years as opposed to my entire childhood. But there's a spine bomb from Kojima. We had almost had a Nick Castellanos moment there. One of my all-time favorite running things in professional sports currently is announcers having to issue on-air apologies or break bad news, speaking very solemnly, and it happens to happen during a Nick Castellanos at bat, where they then have to stop talking about whatever tragedy they're talking about to then acknowledge Nick Castellanos. The most famous of which was Tom Brenneman, the Cincinnati Reds play-by-play announcer, on a hot mic that he wasn't aware was hot, was caught making a homophobic slur between innings of a Reds game. And then during his on-air apology later on in the game, where he's talking about his uncertain future, about how he was not sure he would ever be able to call another Reds game or any game at all. As he's talking, Nick Castellanos hits a home run. And so Nick Castellanos is the harbinger of disaster. Absolutely. I don't remember the exact word, but it's basically something along the lines of, and Castellanos with a bomb into left field. That's going to make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm ever going to be allowed to put this headset on again. And then he goes on to finish his apology. There was also one where they were acknowledging I think one of the camera operators' dads had passed away. And so they were talking about him, very solemnly. And then Castellanos got a base hit, and they had to interrupt themselves to call that. Shooting star press from Will Ospreay. Castellanos with a deep fly ball to left field. Scoop and a slam. They also did, I think it was the Blue Jays pitching coach had said some stuff, and the team had to issue a statement. And while they were reading that, Castellanos got a hit. There are compilations on YouTube you guys should go check out if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, because I'm not doing it justice. I'm paraphrasing YouTube compilation, and that's always just as funny as the real thing. Scoop and a slam. It's when you're on the playground and kids are just quoting Wayne's World, those are jokes. Rolling elbow from Tanaka. I'm sorry, that's not Tanaka, that's Kojima. Tanaka was in the last match. I was didn't he just win a match with that? See, I'm all turned around and apparently racist. Oz Cutter from Will Ospreay, unable to capitalize. Kojima is down. Kojima sends him off the ropes. Big clothesline, and Ospreay backflips. 1, 2. They they do. They really do. It's making a comeback. All things old are new again. Just like, when I was a kid in the late 80s and early 90s, they were all about, quoting Dr. No and Hard Day's Night. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 0.9. Ospreay kicks out. The Pink Panther movies, huge on the playgrounds in 1989. Side slam from Kojima, both men down, catching their breath. I sometimes forget how old I am, and then sometimes I remember, nope, you're 40. You have no frame of reference to what it's like being young anymore. You are middle-aged. You are on cholesterol medicine. You asked for an exercise bike for your birthday and were excited when you got one. Kojima to the top rope with a diving elbow. Drags Ospreay away from the ropes. Veteran move. Hooks the leg. 2.9. Ospreay kicks out, but I do have to say that very quickly, the hook the leg is becoming one of my favorite moves. Slingshot crossbody to the floor by Ospreay. That is the hardest part of the floor. Ospreay sends Kojima into the barricade and a super kick. Of course, we are using the Japanese 20 count on the floor, which is why there does not seem to be any hurry. Kojima with a tiger driver on the concrete, but Ospreay the first to his feet. You have to do better than that, old man, I can imagine Ospreay saying in an Australian accent, which I can't do, so I'm not gonna. Kojima, 52 years old, has been another power. See, I look away to look something up on Cage Match, and somebody almost wins. This was easier when I had a co-host. Kojima, a 31-year pro, was already a 2-year pro when Will Ospreay was born. Ospreay steps back, super kick again. Nope. Kojima with a step-up enziguri, and both men down. Maybe they're sleepy. It has been a long night, and it's also, 7 a.m. in Japan right now? I'm bad with time zones. I don't know what time it is. Hooks the leg. 1, 2.9. Actually, I guess it's probably like mid-afternoon in Japan, isn't it? Early afternoon? I don't know. I have coworkers in Australia and the UK, so those time zones I'm pretty good with. Anywhere else outside the continental US, I'm not so hot at. Spinning kick to the back of the head from Ospreay. And another super kick, just repeatedly kicking Kojima in the head, and Kojima with the cozy lariat, just flipping him upside down. Another veteran move there, setting Ospreay off the rope so he can catch his breath for a second. Ospreay significantly faster, also established significantly younger than Kojima, but Kojima again going for the tiger driver. Justin Gordon not going to count it. They were all up in the ropes. Buzzsaw kick from Ospreay. He's been studying his Yoshihiro Tajiri. We were talking about Masato Tanaka earlier. Hitting people in the head really hard. Jumping, flipping DDT from Ospreay. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Will Ospreay advances to showdown with Masato Tanaka. That's going to be a clash of styles, but Ospreay just beat Kojima, showing that he is capable against a hard-hitting Japanese star. Ospreay, Tanaka, and Darius Martin have all advanced. Fire Pro calling that finish the Essex Destroyer, which if I watched more Japanese wrestling, I would probably know that that's what that move is called, but just one man. I'm attending wrestling classes 3 nights a week. I'm watching as much as I can during the week, but I also have a day job and a side hustle. And sometimes my viewing of international wrestling falls by the wayside. You'll have to forgive me, Will, but congratulations. The number 7 seed advancing to the round of 32, which again does not seem remarkable until you look at how worked up our entire bracket has been since the beginning. Yeah, I know. All right. Piero from AAA is going to be our referee for the main event. There has been enough talk. It's almost entirely from me because there's, no audio from the game, and there's really no voice acting in Fire Pro. But it is time for the main event. That was the long, drawn-out joke I was making there that didn't really land. But anyway, one thing that will land eventually is two high flyers, as Rich Swann takes on Rey Fenix in our main event. And I talk slowly to give Fire Pro time to load. Here we go. Rey Fenix, the number 55 seed in our tournament. We saw him beat Atsushi Katoge earlier on, 14 minutes, 22 seconds with the small package. Fenix proving that good things come in small packages. The Lucha Star, 1/3 of the AEW Trios Champions, Death Triangle. Fancy. He's also the current AAA World Cruiserweight Champion and AAA Latin America Champion. And he's in there with Rich Swann from Impact Wrestling, who earlier on tonight we saw beat Dralistico in our highest rated match of the night, 98%, 17 minutes on the dot, with a leg cross flying roll-up pin, according to Fire Pro. Piero from AAA, very used to calling high-flying matches. So we will see if he can keep up with Swann and Fenix, and we will also see if I can keep up with Swann and Fenix. Before we hit whatever highest gear is, I do want to talk a little bit about how I mentioned that the high seeds in this tournament have not necessarily done well. We've seen Ospreay and Swann, the number 7 and number 10 seeds, already win matches. Ospreay has now won twice tonight to advance to the round of 32. Rich Swann hoping to join him there. But of the other wrestlers that should be in the top or in the final 32, only 13 of them remain. I'm sorry, only 12 of them remain, having forgotten that MJF lost earlier tonight. So Ospreay is the 4th highest seed remaining at number 7. Swann is the 6th highest at number 10. Number 1, Kenny Omega. Number 2, Roman Reigns. Number 4, Drew McIntyre. And number 8, Finn Balor have all been eliminated, as have number 11, Cody Rhodes, number 12, Randy Orton, number 13, Big E, number 15, Tetsuya Naito, number 17, Ultimo Guerrero, number 20, Jonathan Gresham, and more. Meanwhile, we have 7 wrestlers remaining who are in the bottom 100 of the 2021 PWI 500. Antonio Honda, Donnie Janela, Don't Die Miles, Biff Busick, Lucky Kid, Hartley Jackson, and Arrow Boy. It was 9, but earlier tonight, both Weber Hatfield and Robbie Eagles were eliminated. So this tournament, real wacky. It's been a lot of fun to call over the last 42 episodes. We've got 5 more left before we crown the first ever World Simulated Wrestling Champion. Will it be Rey Fenix? Will it be Rich Swann? Will it be Will Ospreay, Masato Tanaka, Darius Martin? Or any of our previous winners? Konosuke Takeshita, Willie Mack, Shingo Takagi, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jey Uso, Matt Jackson, Nick Gage, Ali Yanaki, Jacob Fatu, Suwama, Naomichi Marufuji, Ricky Shane Page, Leon Ruffin, Kota Ibushi. So, will it be Nick Castellanos? It could be. Could be Karrion Kross, Don't Die Miles, Antonio Honda, Hartley Jackson, or any of the other wrestlers who have not had matches yet. We started with 500. We have 57 left. I think we started this night with 68. We did start this night with 68. We've had 11 eliminated. We're about to have our 12th, which will put us at 56. 2 more shows to wrap up the 3rd and 4th rounds, and then we will have our final 32, which will kick off in episode 45, before we crown a champion in episode 47. I think Nick Castellanos probably has earned a title shot sometime in the near future after we crown a champion. Maybe if you can find a partner, we can get him in the tag team tournament that's going to start sometime later this year. Swann sent to the floor. Fenix had a perfect opportunity there to dive onto him, decides not to. You're not the boss of me. Sends Swann into the corner. Series of shoulder blocks in the corner now. And just a knee drop across the back of the head. Snap suplex from Fenix. Swann is down. Both men were down, actually, there for a second. Snap Rana there from Fenix. Now to the top rope. 450. All up in the ropes. No count from Piero. Elbow to the spine from Swann, who I imagine said something, but again, we have no audio from the game for some reason tonight. Butterfly suplex, throwing him. Actually, I guess was that a dragon suplex? There are so many suplex variations. I should know them all by now. I am training to become a professional announcer, but you know what? They just keep making new suplexes. Get off my lawn, new suplexes. So just punched my microphone. That probably sounded great. Fenix dragging Swann away from the corner. Corkscrew 630 by Fenix. 1, 2, no, 2.9. Swann kicks out. Yes, you're right. You're right. Because, yeah, the Snapdragon is out of the... Oh, Meteora from Fenix. Now back to the top. Again, that corkscrew 630 Swann moved, and Fenix just crashed and burned. So we're going to call that a butterfly suplex. I think that's what that's called when you do like a full Nelson, but their arms are down. And Fenix just chopping him in the throat repeatedly. That feels illegal, but Piero not calling it. DDT there from Swann. Both men back to their feet at the 11-minute mark, and Swann just dancing. He's having a good time, even though he's kind of been getting his butt kicked in this match. Comes off the ropes, big bulldog. Punch to the midsection from Fenix, back to the top. Another corkscrew 630. We're up to like 1890 at this point from Fenix. And he's just still not satisfied. Snap suplex as we pass the 12-minute mark of our main event here on episode 42 of the 500. Misnomer, there are not going to be 500 episodes of this show. I mean, there might be over the course of the next several years, but this the 500 is because there were 500 participants in the tournament. But there are only going to be 47 episodes before the crown champion. Fenix off the ropes, snaps off a Rana there. And now a destroyer coming. Yes! Drops him right on the tippy top of his head. Pointing to the skies like he wanted another 630, which would have put us at 25-20 for the night. But Swann with the drop toe hold, now a leapfrog, and they collide. Good old double down spot. But Swann first to his feet and wobbly. That would have been a very long season. Swann with the top. I guess we could have done it if we were just doing one episode a week. But you know, it would have taken us 10 years to get through the tournament. At which point, probably more than half the field would have been retired. Swann to the top rope. Very nice run off the top rope. 2, 3. That does it. Rich Swann has advanced to the round of 32. He will face Darius Martin. Will Ospreay will face Masato Tanaka on that show as well. That'll be episode 46 coming up in 4 weeks. So a quick rundown of what we've seen tonight as I get back to the correct tab on the bajillion tabs I have currently. Super Huracan Rana is what the game is calling that finish from Rich. Swann eliminating the number 55 seed Rey Fenix. 14 minutes, 19 seconds, 84%. Game didn't like that one very much. I thought it was fun. Okay, so tonight we saw Wardlow beat Weber Hatfield. Satoshi Kojima beat Delmi Exo. Robbie Eagles beat El Lindemann. Darius Martin beat El Hijo del Vikingo. Rey Fenix beat Atsushi Kotoge. Masato Tanaka beat MJF. Will Ospreay beat Ricky Starks. Rich Swann beat Dralistico. That took a little 5-minute intermission. And then that must be it. It must have been a cornet score. Then once we came back from break, Darius Martin beat Robbie Eagles to advance to episode 46 in the round of 32. Masato Tanaka beat Wardlow. Will Ospreay... why my brain kept wanting to do that. That was Satoshi Kojima in that match. And Rich Swann beat Rey Fenix in our main event that just ended, in case you are just joining us. Sorry, but it will be up on our Twitch page. It'll be up on YouTube. It'll be up on Facebook. All the normal places you can catch any of those matches. I just made a YouTube playlist that includes every match we've ever done through 42 episodes. There are 3 episodes, I believe it's 1, 2, and 6, where for whatever reason the actual stream didn't get moved to YouTube, and so there is no commentary. It's just the individual matches. But for the other 39 shows, it's the full show, like what you had just seen. So that's 4 more spots filled in the round of 32. We've got 8 more to fill over the course of the next 2 weeks. Speaking of the next 2 weeks, next week's card. Professional show business. Next week, we will see the number 3 seed, Bobby Lashley, the highest seed remaining in the tournament, take on Royce Chambers. We will see Hiroshi Tanahashi against Takashi Sugiura. We will see Black Taurus against Chase Holiday. Charlie Evans against Arrow Boy. Darby Allin against frontman Ja C. Ethan Allen against Jordan Grace. Chris Jericho against Dominic Mysterio. Yes, folks, Dominic Mysterio still in this tournament. Jake Lee against Anthony Green. And then those 8 winners will then face off in 4 more matches to fill in 4 more slots in the round of 32. Then the following week, we'll have the last 12 matches to determine the slots in the round of 32. John Moxley against Mickey Knuckles. Kofi Kingston against Lucky Kid, the former Tioman. El Desperado against Donnie Kung Fu Janela. Miro against Masaaki Mochizuki. Adam Priest against Yuji Nagata. Zachary Wentz against Biff Busick. Laredo Kid against Josh Alexander. And Johnny Gargano against Eddie Edwards. So still lots of great action to go in the 3rd and 4th rounds of the tournament. And then after those 2 weeks, it'll be the final 32. And we will crown a champion in 5 weeks on episode 47, assuming, something doesn't happen to where I can't stream one of those weeks. But currently, doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I'm in it for the long haul with you fine folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hopefully you've not already subscribed or followed or whatever it's called on Twitch. Clearly, I'm a professional. Subscribe, all that good stuff on YouTube and Facebook and all that. The more eyes we get on this, the better chance I might actually get paid for this one day, which sounds amazing. But again, thanks so much for watching. We will see you next week here on the 500. Bye, everybody.